It is lovely to have you with us today, Madam Folorunso Alakija.
The pleasure's mine.
I'd like to first talk about your journey. In every sector you have touched on, you have excelled and dominated, from fashion to oil. Can you please share and reflect on a specific moment where your gender affected a business decision or negotiation, and how you were able to turn it around to your advantage?
I believe everyone knows that women have been endowed with special abilities, and one of them is negotiation, the art of negotiation. I remember once that I entered into a business meeting, and I found that I was the only woman in the room. And before we went into that room, some people had suggested that we negotiate within a certain range. And I decided to do something different concerning that range. I decided to multiply it severally. I decided to aim at the sky, that even if I fell, I would fall on the moon. So I did, and surprisingly, it wasn't challenged. It wasn't challenged, and then I began to think, oh, I should have made it higher than that. Well, stupid. Gosh, I missed it, but gosh, everybody else who knew about the range that we were supposed to stay within said, gosh, how did she do that? We thank God. So the situation changed to a much, 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 much higher than what others were expecting us to ask for.
Amazing. When I look at your career, and we've spoken several times over the years about your journey and at the tables that you've sat at, success in male-dominated industries is nothing short of revolutionary when we follow your trajectory. How do you strategically influence decision-making in those rooms, where often you are the only female or one of very few?
I remember a young man once said to me, my parents sent me abroad to study amongst white girls, and said that I should marry within my nationality. And I said to them, but if you didn't want me to marry just with anybody I please, then you shouldn't have sent me there, because I don't see color. I put that in my left hand. Young man, nice words. So I said, okay, I'll make use of that. It sounds like an intelligent thing to think about. So when I apply it to entry into a boardroom, and you find that you're one of a few women or just the only woman in the room, I do not see gender. I do not see a situation where people be thinking that men were created specially to be able to make better decisions than women. I don't remember reading in any parts of my biology sessions that the brains of men were colored differently from the brains of women. So I said, listen, I am going to do and say what I intend to do, what I intend to say, believing and trusting that what men can do, I can do too, and maybe I can even do it better. So I don't allow anybody to pull the wool over my face. I walk in there with confidence. I walk in there with boldness, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I put my foot down. I don't let anybody pull the wool over my face. I make sure that I don't keep quiet, because it may be misunderstood. You're keeping quiet, make it look as if, it might look as if you don't even know your onions. And even if I don't know as much as I would have liked to know concerning the subject, maybe I'd go in there with someone who knows a bit more than me, but I'd be the one that would be speaking. And I'd make sure that whatever I'm saying is not going to be, thrust under the table. It's going to be, matters of intelligence, matters that can outweigh what is being said or what's on the table already. And I would make sure that what I'm saying is making sense. And I will let them know that I'm an asset and not a liability. So that's how I would tackle it.
I think what you're saying about being an asset and not a liability is so key. And it's something that you've always reinforced, not just by talking, but by your actions in your personal life and your business life throughout the years, Madame. As a female leader, you have been an inspiration to millions all over the world. As a president of your fan club, I'm very, very interested to find out someone who naturally inspires people consistently. Who inspires you?
Oh, there's no doubt that it's Jesus that inspires me. Definitely. Nothing can change that. He's my, oh gosh, I admire that guy. You know, when I had my back to the wall and I had nowhere to turn to and everything seemed a bit gloomy and I didn't know what to do, I turned to Jesus. I found him and I said, if you will bless me, I will work for you all the days of my life. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today. We would not be having this conversation because it changed my life. He changed my life. Oh yes, he changed my life. And I know that he will never leave me, he'll never forsake me. And I've received my salvation when I gave my life to Christ. So he's the one that inspires me. He leads me the way I should go, directs my footsteps. He's all and all.
I want to give you a round of applause for that, Madame. It's something that you live by in every aspect of your life. You are a faith-driven woman, and at no point in time, at any stage, at any acknowledgement, do you ever leave or forsake what God has done for you. And it's so inspiring for you to see that you carry it along at every step. What I would also be interested to find out is, on a global female leader perspective, being one yourself, who are the women that you look up to and have managed to shape your leadership style?
To answer that question, I'd like to start by saying that God gave each and every one of us a purpose in life. By saying that God gave each and every one of us a purpose in life. And some have more than one purpose. So I look at the purposes that are playing out in the lives of some female leaders in the world. And that resonates with me. And I look at their lives and see what, you know, makes a lot of meaning to me. One of such women is Pastor Folorunso Adeboye. And I noticed that over the years, she has been touching lives, making a difference in the lives of those she comes across. Vulnerable people. She changes their lives from where she met them in hopeless states, states of helplessness, and she gives them hope. She wipes their tears, and she gives them food. She gives them water. She takes them off the street. Some who are into drugs, she puts them in rehabilitation centers. Some are into prostitution. She changes their lives, gives them a better life, and gives their life a meaning. And I remember that just 2 days ago, in one of the other events that took place here, she took what she was doing in Nigeria and Africa to another level, to the global stage. I was there when I listened and I watched. I realized that what I had been doing was maybe just scratching the surface compared to what she's been doing. And it has encouraged me. It has given me the impetus that when I get back to Nigeria, I'm going to upscale what I'm already doing by the special grace of God. I know that another woman, the current Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is doing marvelous work. The time that she first struck me was when she first became the first female finance minister in Nigeria. And I saw how she went about everything that she did. And she always had a voice. She always spoke out. She always reached out. She always pulled others up. And she admires me. I admire her. And another person that comes to mind is the President Joyce Banda. President Joyce Banda. When I got to meet her, she had invited me to Malawi. And I was taken aback. It was my first time in Malawi. She took me around some of the villages where she was looking after widows. She had taken many of them from mud huts and built individual houses, 1-bedroom houses, 2-bedroom houses, depending on their needs. And that touched my heart. And it inspired me, and I felt like, scaling up what we were doing in Nigeria for our beneficiaries. So we have been self-funded over the years, for the last 15 years. And so we decided to stop being pinned down to the south. And we scaled up to the remaining 5 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, where we are further empowerment to our widows, to the glory of God. Now, in rounding up that section, I would say that any female leader that finds themselves in a position, whether it was for one day, a year, several years, they should make sure that they make a difference in the lives of others. Because look in the Bible, Queen Esther, she had an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the Jews. And her uncle Mordecai said, do you not know that it is very likely that you were set up in life for a time like this? So now you need to make a difference in the lives of your fellow Jews. And she did. She did. So in whichever position female leaders find themselves, it doesn't matter how long they're there for, they should make a difference. They should touch lives. They should turn things around. And they should touch other women and bring them up.
I keep clapping because you're really speaking to myself, and I can see everyone in the audience is also blown away by your pearls of wisdom. I would like to talk about legacy. Watching you work, how you speak, how you interact with people on a day-to-day basis, not just the amazing power moves that are impacting your country, your continent, and the globe effectively. You are able to create legacies by the droplets of greatness that you sprinkle throughout your life. But what are the most impactful ways that you are personally working on to ensure the next generation of African women leaders are set up for greater successes?
A few years back, I remember that several individual women would walk up to me and say, I'd like you to mentor me, please. I looked at myself and I was wondering, where am I going to find the time to be able to mentor this woman, that woman, individually, and it was just going to be impossible. So I had a bright idea. I decided that I would set up a platform that would be for young women who were aspiring, who wanted more than what they had experienced or gained, and they wanted to learn from me and from others like me. So I set up that platform, and that platform included mentorships on things that are related to women issues, everything that's holistic about women, that things that we need to sit down, talk about, understand, encourage one another, and learn from each other. And I got a lot of people to write on all those kind of issues. People who are leaders themselves, who have been there, seen it, done it. So we were doing that. And then it got to a stage where, and some of those things include wellness and beauty, careers, entrepreneurship, lifestyles, inspirational matters, relationships, marriage, family, and things like that. So after a while, I found that we needed to take it another notch up. I decided to do a research of what would be useful, more useful than what we were already giving them. And two things came back that were extremely important, and that was funding and also business skills training for those who were into entrepreneurship. So I set up a 1 billion naira fund that would spread over a 5-year period, and training for them for 2,500 women. And we were taking 500 women per year and giving them that training. And out of that 500, we would pick the best out of them who would pitch. And from the pitches that they did, we picked them, and they would then need to get that fund from there, the seed money. We gave them we gave those people the seed money that they needed, up to 2 million naira per person per year. We've done 2 cohorts, and we're getting into the 3rd cohort next month, this October. Now, in rounding up that section, I would like to say that, yes, God has brought me to this height. I pray that He'll continue to take me higher and higher, and others around me by the special grace of God. And that as He does, I will not remove the ladder, but will stretch out my hand and bring up others on that ladder. So leaders must always stretch out and bring up others up, to get to the top. And as we do that, and we're teaching our women to do the same, one of the ways that we do it is that we have a slogan in Flourish Africa. That slogan is, Flourish Africa Women Empower Other Women. And they're doing it to the glory of God.
Powerful. Powerful. It is absolutely exceptional, Madame, to see you in action through your own work, through the work that you are creating and impacting future generations, and just to have the opportunity to sit with you today and learn from someone who has had such a wealth of experience and knowledge and success in their journey. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been absolutely incredible.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you.